guys, welcome to the Desi Trip podcast. Your favorite way to spend time on the internet. You didn't have to decide; we just said it. So today we're discussing Indian marriage stories, or what's it called, Viraj?
Indian matchmaking. You've done your
Indian
research.
matchmaking, and we're joined by two very special guests, Kritika and Nikita. Why don't you guys introduce yourself?
Nikita just qualified as a CA super recently, and she's this badass auditor. She is so
She's the
I feel like the
Ankita.
reason
She's the Ankita of this group, basically.
she's not the Ankita.
She's self-made, bro.
She's self-made, okay, ठीक है, but she's still not
Guys, I feel like
Ankita.
we'll get stuck doing this forever because we're not progressing far
Okay.
at all.
And she's currently in London, and she's lived in like some 10 countries or some shit like that, and never gets the order right, never get the number right. So basically, that's all.
And still not married. Oh my
And
god.
I know. I'm
not
looking.
married.
I'm
She's
looking to
looking,
move
she's
this
looking.
year.
So by the way, whoever is like watching this video, Nikita is eligible, single, ready to mingle. So please, DM her for
So,
Raj, I want
Judges.
that cut out. Raj, I want that cut out.
DM me for her rishtas.
Seema from Mumbai is also on the show. Good to see.
Let me just introduce Kritika like a normal person. So Kritika and I met at university. That's how we know Viraj. And we were in Lancaster together. And then after that, we graduated. She now works as a lawyer at a top tier law firm in India. And yeah, I think that's all I have
Aparna,
to say.
yuck! Fuck off! I'm not Aparna.
She's a lawyer, bro. I'm just saying.
Please clap your hands for Nikita and Kritika.
Okay,
Awesome.
now,
Mhm.
obviously, we've seen a lot of cringe on the internet. We've been
Mhm.
watching the memes. We've been seeing everything. But before
Mhm.
we get into all the funny bits, the irony of the show and stuff like that, let's discuss some positives of the show.
Mhm.
So Akshay, what's
Okay.
the first positive you think, and then we'll go in order, and everyone can say one positive thing they found from the show. Let's continue.
But no, Viraj, it's a good thing that we're starting off by talking about the positives of the show, because I think everyone who's tuning in and watching, they're gonna think that we're just here to just be another bunch of people shitting on the show and calling it cringeworthy. So as there were definitely a lot of cringeworthy moments, but I think this show also had some positive aspects to it. So the first thing that struck out in my mind is the fact that, okay, we need to respect some of these families and some of these guys to come out and do a show like this. Okay, like it's not easy to let Netflix just edit whatever you're saying, and people are going to judge you, right? So mad
Yeah.
respect to some of these guys who are being recorded. And I think it's also a good show because in a way it normalizes arranged marriages, right? And from my personal experience, of course there are drawbacks to arranged marriages, but I've also seen arranged marriages work. I've seen some couples who have had arranged marriages, and you wouldn't guess. You'd think that these guys were childhood lovers. So one good thing is that through this show, at least some people will end up feeling that, okay, I'm having an arranged marriage, and they won't think of themselves as someone who's being choked and forced to make a decision.
Yeah.
So I think that way it's good that we're talking about these things in mainstream media. What about you guys?
I want to take. Can I just take it from there? So the one positive that I really found from the show as well is that like it's a modern, like obviously not all the couples, but most of them is like a modern portrayal of arranged marriage, right? So like they're like they're going out, they're dating like any couple would if your friends are setting you up, right? It's not like weird and the parents are involved from day one, and some of the
Unless
couples
your
don't
name
have
is
that kind
Akshay,
of
in that
pressure.
case, your mother is involved in
I mean-
up to the baby making process.
Up to your brother's baby making process, let alone your own baby making process. So I like to
Just to make it clear, we're not talking about me. We're talking about the Akshay from the show.
Yeah, so like Akshay said, I think I really like the idea of normalizing arranged marriages, and for some reason there is a stigma like amongst our generation, with regards to arranged marriage, with it being a lot of pressure. And no doubt there is pressure and there is all of that in some instances, but some cases, like you said, they literally come off as childhood lovers. You can't tell whether it's love marriage or arranged marriage. So I really like the portrayal of like a more modern form of arranged marriage in India, as well, that we are going towards, and not just your parents sitting at your head day in and day out being like, okay, you have to make a decision today, that's it. So I think that was one big positive from the show, definitely.
What about you, Thomas? Oh, sorry. You wanted to say something, Akshay?
Yeah, I think just one thing I'd like to add is the fact that this show could actually could be pretty helpful to most Indians abroad, because like I'm sure you guys would have had experiences where, you know, white people come up and ask you like, yo dude, what is this thing called arranged marriages, bro? Are you serious? Your mom is picking the girl for you? So I mean, hopefully some people in the West will watch this and kind of get a better idea of, you know, our background and what our culture is.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, I wanted to address that, but maybe before, if I just take a step back, I think that the one good thing that this does do is, like, I think that there's, from society, from the movies and the books that we watch, right, we have kind of created an entire fantasy world around love marriage, right? Especially, we believe that, oh my God, I don't want an arranged marriage. I want to like fall in love with someone, you know, even better, we're like childhood lovers, you know, whatever it is, right? But I think that, you know, there's a lot of merit in there being arranged marriage, especially in our culture where, like, you know, family is given so much importance, and it's not just the people that are getting married, there are also family involved in it. But like, I do think that it definitely is something that in some ways, yes, does have, you know, a lot of things that are quite eye-opening and issues. But I do think that people do need to, like, you know, understand that it's not like love marriage or like, oh, this sucks, right? Like, I don't want to be in an arranged marriage kind of thing. The only thing that I would say in response to what Akshay mentioned is that it's good in terms of, you know, it's getting that kind of exposure, but also I just feel like it's not the most accurate representation of arranged marriage as well, only because like we watched it, you know, India watched it, and everybody was like, this is terrible, so misogynistic, so like, you know, all these issues with it. And I think that I could definitely see some people seeing that being like, India is so backwards just based on that. And, you know, we recognize that too, but I don't want that to be what we are and what our country is seen as either. So I think that's the only thing that I would say that we need to be wary about with shows like this. But yeah, I do agree. I do think that it's good to have it out there. At least it's a conversation, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, yeah,
I
you
mean,
you
like
don't
when
want Westerners to have this perception of our country, but dude, ultimately, one more thing is that this is kind of accurate, right? The entire concept of
100%.
biodatas and your degree and stuff, you're making a judgment. Like everyone has a report card, so in some ways, this is the reality of our country, as unfortunate as it is. Yeah.
But you know, even though it is the reality of our country, like a lot of arranged marriages don't involve you going to a face reader or going to, like, you know, this random pundit talking about your sex life. And I know Viraj has a specific topic for that. We're going to get to it. But that's what, right? Like, it's not the most accurate depiction of Indian society as well, which I know it was added for the
It's
humor.
a very skewed
but
thing. I feel like Netflix has made it from a point of irony rather than from a point of actually wanting to depict how actually it is in India. Because if you see, Netflix was very quick to act on how people were trolling the show by getting Tanmay Bhatt on board to react to their own show, which kind of clearly indicates that the production was from a point of irony. Where if you see stuff like that, they put awkward silences in for a moment of humor, like for uh,
Yeah,
some
they
of the
clearly said this was a drama. This wasn't a documentary.
I mean, it's a
I mean,
reality show to some extent as well. It's a reality TV show to some extent.
yeah, it's a bit, I don't know, man. For me, the only positives was the cold opens where they show those old 25, 30-year-old couples, like they've been married for 25 plus years. And those are so funny, dude. I think this is the most underrated part of the show. When like one of the dudes is going, this is me and this is my wife, and the wife goes, "आप अपना introduction कर लीजिए, मैं अपना कर लूंगी." And that just to me is just so fucking funny. On the show, we'll go in order. Nikita, you go first. Who's your favorite character on the show and why?
Vyasar,
Why?
100%. Mainly because I just wait. Are we giving like a serious answer or like?
Yeah, of course. Like whatever you feel, man. Just go
Whatever
for it.
you want. Whatever you want.
I feel for the guy a lot. I just think that, you know, there's so much attached to your family. And to be fair, like even if you were to seriously critically think about it, can you imagine your parents being okay with you marrying somebody who, you know, whose dad went to jail for, you know, for conspiracy to commit murder on his ex? Like, you know, there's just, and you know, to be fair, this is probably the one time that I give Seema auntie credit there, but she says that, like, you know, that's what the father did, right? And now he will, you know, there will 100% be any, you know, given the circumstances, I'm sure there are tons of women that would be like, you know what, I don't want to get involved with this. This is not my, you know, and I just, like, that's just,
She
I mean,
actually,
for lack of
she
better
actually
word,
tells him,
terrible.
right? You don't worry because this is something your dad did and not you. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
be honest.
And to be fair, that was one of the few moments where I thought that, Seema from Mumbai was, like
That's
she
the
did the right
drinking
thing.
game.
And
Every
she,
time she introduces herself, Seema
Seema
from
from
Mumbai.
Mumbai. Seema from Mumbai. Yeah, 100%. But
Or the
I,
words
I do.
compromise, or the words compromise and flexible I use. That also.
No,
Also
flexible was only
difficult.
once, right?
No,
Difficult.
they keep using
Difficult.
and difficult.
Difficult.
But
And mind is unstable.
but I actually just to go back to her Nikita Vyasar, dude, I have like a lot of respect for the guy because to come out on national television and actually disclose something that major about your life takes a lot of guts, and I'm sure like a lot of his close friends wouldn't have known, or like people will someone he knows will have found this out through like the show, right? And that's
Yeah.
quite intense to be able to reveal that kind of stuff online. It's
But also he's right? How do you tell someone on the third date that like something so vulnerable, something so scarring about your life, right?
yeah, I don't
And
know
then
that.
how do you trust somebody to not hold that over you? Or every time you get mad, what happens if someone, has quick flashbacks to your dad or something? Like, it's just a
He's
terrible situation.
I like
Yeah.
Vyasar because he's the ultimate man child, and that's how I perceive myself in 10 years' time. When I'm sitting playing games, video games in my house and not growing up. I just feel like
But
that's
he's
what I
such
relate.
he's such a sweetheart though. Like the vibes you get from him even through a television screen are just so like positive in some ways. I don't know
Yeah.
how that's the case.
Speaking
But
of good vibes, I got really good vibes from Shekhar. I think he's Nadia's
Who?
second date.
Nadia's second guy.
Oh, yeah.
So he was the Indian guy. I think he was a lawyer. And basically, these guys go on a boat. They're in Chicago, and then they
Yeah,
have a date
Shekhar
next
was
Oh,
day.
good.
but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they spent too much time on him, but like just the way he was behaving, like he was a pretty civil dude. Like he's talking to the waiter, and just well mannered,
Oh,
well dressed.
dude, that pissed off Aparna so much. I was like,
Yeah.
bro, that is not even a valid reason to get angry. He was
Not
Dude,
giving
did
me
you
enough
See?
notice that?
attention.
yeah,
Aparna was
He
hating on
pretended to be
everyone.
narcissistic.
yeah. He was like,
Yeah.
dude, how can he talk to the waiter? I mean, sorry, what is he supposed to do? Like a robot say, here, this is my order, get the fuck out of my face, I need to stare at this woman.
No,
He
because
even
the
hated
real
on him
Indian
for his
way to do it
vodka
is
choice,
this.
bechara.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
is the
yeah,
real
yeah,
way
that.
to talk to a waiter in India.
Yeah. Or to go like the with that signal as
They
well.
treat them like objects. That's what she wanted. But okay, I don't know if you guys will agree with me, but my favorite character on the show, and I'll reveal the reason behind it, is because some of the things that happened off the show, it kind of made me get perspective, is Vinay. He is personally
Yes.
my favorite character on the show because when he came on the show, you could just feel like he was being him, and some of his reactions you could tell were quite genuine. Also, I mean, I got too deep into this. I finished this entire show yesterday morning to night, so I kind of did a bit of fucking stalking on Instagram and Twitter of all these people's social media.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah. So Vinay or Vinny, like he calls himself, actually put out a statement saying the second date where he apparently stood her up did not happen. He said that he actually told her the morning of the date that listen, I cannot make it today, and I'm actually quite ill and I won't be able to make it. And that entire scene about him having to meet her friends is scripted. Like he had no idea this was happening. At no point was he supposed to meet the friends or anything like that, and it's completely made up. So another
Exactly. So like this is just something that popped out in my head as well right when I was watching the show. Like because to me it makes no sense. Like just imagine this. Like you are supposed to go out on a date with a girl. You've already stood her up once while he was in the hospital, so it's technically not, he didn't stand her up or something, he didn't ditch her. But even on the second time, like would you not land up when there's a freaking camera crew that's about to record your date? Like is that even possible?
so I
Like
have a
just
theory on this.
hold on Viraj, so as soon as I saw that, I was like, damn, this has to be bullshit, this has to be fake, because there's no way on earth a person wouldn't land up when he's going to be recorded on a show that's going to be shown to millions of people. And then I think me and Viraj, we were just scrolling through Twitter feeds online, and there are multiple screenshots of people having conversations with this guy, and even his own Twitter post, which said that he had informed her on the morning that he wasn't going to be able to make it. And then these guys, they went ahead and they still shot the scene in a way that it looks like he was the bad guy and he stood her up, which begs two questions, right? First is the fact that, okay, why would Nadia record that show and act emotional when she knew about the fact that he wasn't going to come in the first place? That's the first question. Like, what does that say about her character? And the second one is Netflix obviously knew this, right? If you're organizing the show, of course they probably knew that this guy's not going to turn up. So how can you record that entire segment, put it into the show, and send it out to millions of people? You're clearly disparaging someone's integrity and his character. So I think that people need to talk about this bullshit that Netflix has done, because it's not okay, dude. You're using your power as a billion-dollar company just to disparage someone's life. Can you think about the number of morons on the internet who are going to be DMing this guy saying you're a piece of shit? Like, can you imagine his mental health right now? So I think people
That's
need to
why
talk
I think he
about
put
this.
out a statement, right? Because he said that a lot of people have been DMing him insults, and he wanted to get the truth out there. And so basically, two things. I have one theory on this, which I've mentioned to Akshay, is that so what happens in camera crews is obviously the setup is huge, right? So they start setting up in the morning because cameras, lights, all of that takes a lot of time to set up. So the crew had set up in the restaurant in the morning, expecting a dinner date, right? In the morning, while they were setting up or had finished setting up, this guy texted saying, I won't be able to make it. And the production went, fuck, now what we supposed to do? We spend hours setting this shit up. And probably one of the ADs went, fuck it, he stood her up, so we'll make a dramatized version of her being stood up, right? And they decided we'll shoot a scene. Obviously, she was under contract, so I'm sure she had to shoot it. And that's how it happened. But now this
But
kind
it's
of
never okay, right? And now,
yeah,
dude,
it's not
Viraj, okay,
okay.
I'm just being absolutely honest over here. I'm just being raw. Like, imagine you reverse the roles, okay? Imagine you did something like this to a woman. Like, you know
There'd be
what
an
kind of
outrage.
posts are going to be. Yeah, you'll blame him with 1,000 labels, right? So it's not okay when a fucking company is doing this to a person. Like,
Yeah, I
it's not
told
okay.
you, I think he should sue if that's the case. And if it's not a part of his contract where dramatization of his personality or character is allowed on the show, he should sue. But this
Yeah.
kind of leads me to my most hated character on the show. And I know some one of you will obviously say Aksha's mom, so I'm not going to say that. And the one I'm going to say is very controversial. It is Nadia. I completely dislike Nadia. I think she's the worst character on the show simply for one fucking reason. And I've mentioned this to Akshay while I watched the show. Is that when the fucking guy told you he's on an IV drip, how is your first question not, are you okay?
He didn't tell her.
He did.
No, she says that
He
he's
says that
still
he
being
let him.
shady about the reason.
No, she said it. She said he's on an IV drip, but I still think he's being shady about the reason. That's what
No, she said he's still not telling me why.
And for no reason at all. I think no matter what the scenario, if you've said I couldn't make it, I was ill or whatever, I was in the hospital, I had a heat stroke. For no reason at all, should you be having to send 1 week's worth of gifts to this woman to,
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
Excessive.
yeah,
if you have a
that's true.
health
I mean,
reason, it
maybe
should
we
be the
don't
other
know.
way around. She should be sending him gifts saying that
Yeah,
I
I
hope you're
hope you're
okay.
okay.
Yeah, not at one point, and I think he says it in his statement also. Like at no point has she even asked me if I was doing okay, and none of that's been highlighted in the show. I mean, I figured it out because that was naturally my first thought that so hopefully he's okay. But at no point did she even think to. In fact, she was blaming him for being late. Even after that, I'm like, bro, this dude was having a heat stroke. He probably collapsed and was about to die. His first thought is not going to be, let me fucking text my date.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know all this backstory to it, but the way they've shown it on the show, you do have sympathy for Nadia. You're not sitting there thinking
Zero
that,
sympathy.
okay, I had sympathy for him when he said he had the heat stroke, but he still didn't. And then the second time when he stood up with her friends, I was like, bro, sorry.
But
Like,
that's
if you're
completely
still not safe, then tell
fictionalized,
her.
right?
Why did you
He's
plan this
come
date?
out and said it's fictionalized.
Yeah, so this is where Akshay's point comes back
But
in,
okay,
right?
so now
That
it's
you guys did the research around it. So you guys know that, right? But if you hadn't told that to me, I wouldn't know. And there are tons of other people that will, in the same way, have watched this for the purposes of watching something, right?
Yeah.
Shat all over it, said all kinds of crap about it, and then continue to be like, oh, poor Nadia.
Yeah.
Right? This is where that issue comes about,
Which
like
is why I
accountability.
kind of feel like Nadia also needs to take a part of the blame to how this guy was portrayed, because you agreeing to shoot a scene where you know it's fictionalized is also a part of the
I
problem.
agree.
But
Yeah.
You
to be
cannot
fair,
completely
Viraj,
deflect it on
tomorrow,
you can't completely deflect it onto Netflix
one
because you
sec,
still agreed to it.
tomorrow she might come out with another story, then it becomes a he said, she said thing, right? Like, why are we taking Vinay's point to be like the word of God? Like, I don't understand why that is happening. Okay, maybe it's all like this
But
only. I completely agree. But
no, I'm
tomorrow
just
she
saying
could come
if
out with
it's
another statement, right?
yeah, but
So,
if it is, I get that. But I'm saying if it is true, in that case, she is wrong, right? I'm not saying no, she is wrong. I'm saying if that is true, in that case, she is wrong. And she should be taking a part of the blame.
But just playing devil's advocate, I mean, I saw some of the conversations that were uploaded on Twitter where this guy says that he actually spoke to the Netflix production crews. So, I mean, if, like, sure, like people can come out with another side of it. But I mean, if he's going out there, he's speaking to Netflix and stuff, I
Okay,
think it's
fair.
pretty unlikely that this guy is lying. Yeah.
Okay,
That
no,
would be
I
the
mean,
biggest
I didn't do this research, so I didn't even know about this whole Vinay, like,
Okay, anyway, fine. Let's move
Yeah,
on
I
from
think we're getting
Vinay.
bogged
And
into the
yeah,
details.
who's your most disliked character on the show? Who wants to say Akshay's mom? Just go first. Let's get
I
it
want
out.
Netflix Akshay's mom.
All of three. So, okay, y'all can all go. Which is your most hated and cringe-worthy scene from Akshay's mom, and why do you I mean, we all know why everyone dislikes her so much, so we don't have to spend too much time on it. But which is the scene which made you really hate her?
my house, my rules. She literally said it like that. This is my house. The girl who comes in has to follow the rules of the house. I don't give a fuck about anything else. She basically wanted a glorified maid servant, a glorified house help, who's going to come be the like, just like be this fancy looking person. They even wanted someone with a degree, but have a degree and sit at home. So like that Radhika, for example, was a chartered accountant, but whatever. So that scene I literally couldn't, like, she went my house, my rules. That was her like bottom line. And she like that kind of mother-in-law I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy as well. Like she is what would make you scared of the arranged marriage process.
I felt at
like
that
there's
point,
nobody else on the show that you would be like, oh my God, I'm scared. Like tomorrow if this is going to come, I am going to go through this process someday. But that lady, and this fact is that there are loads of her like that out there. She scares you about the process. Like that's the worst about it. And she perpetuates all the misogyny and everything that is wrong with arranged marriage. Like
she wanted a babysitter, not a housemaid. I think she just wanted someone to take care of her little young boy. Like, abhi to bachcha hai.
She
No,
wanted
at one point she was like, abhi to ye
house
bachcha hai. And then why the fuck are you getting him married agar wo bachcha hai? I don't understand. Why?
She wanted a house help. She wanted her to like make his tiffin in the morning before he goes to work, give him the tiffin, that kind of jazz, So
Nikita, what was your
I
worst
think
scene?
it boils down to the fact that like she probably grew up and she was instilled with some traditional gender rules
But
and stuff,
grow up and
right?
evolve as a person. No, you can't stay the same
Bro,
person. I
guys,
dislike
everyone
this
is not
excuse
like that, dude.
completely.
Everyone is not
No, I
traveling and
completely
transforming
dislike
their
this
lives. I
excuse.
mean, you
You're
might
not
not like
growing
it.
up with fucking. You're not like a horse. You're not growing up with fucking eyes like this. Just in
No,
one
but you are
direction.
growing up in a community, right, that perpetuates the same kind of sentiment, right? So you and I have been lucky to have, the exposure to see different
if
things.
people want to grow, they can grow, right?
Raj,
no,
I think that
you need
that's
opportunity to grow. It's not that everyone just grows.
if Preeti Auntie is in a surrounding of people that are
That
like-minded,
kitty party scene kind of proves that.
exactly, she was, and she doesn't expand outside of that, right? Her world revolves in that house, in her rules, and then in those women that sit there and talk about how the kids are not married yet, right? So in that scenario, of course, she doesn't have the exposure to know better.
Okay, fine.
Exactly. There's that saying, right? You're the result of the people you hang out with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if she's hanging out with people like that,
all I want to say about Preeti Auntie is that God bless whoever her future daughter-in-law is. But my favorite scene of Preeti Auntie is when she is this ultimate controlling, quintessential, overbearing Indian mom, and she decides, "Beta, तुम शादी करो, तभी तो ये लोग बच्चे कर पाएंगे." I'm like, bro, what is the matter with you? How are you deciding this? And then, Netflix is so fucking funny. They zoomed in on the daughter's face. Did you see the daughter-in-law? Like the moment she said, and it zooms into the daughter-in-law's face and she's just smiling. In her head, she must be thinking, this fucking bitch.
Dude, like knowing this lady, she probably has some kind of crazy OCD where she like plans it down to the day. Where that, okay, we need the kid on 18th December because
she's made the bed and left. She's made the bed and left 3 condoms there. Like torn condoms, not condoms.
Why would she leave condoms? Yeah. She probably has her menstrual chart, like her daughter's menstrual chart down to the T, and this is when you're like, this is when you're meant to like
you would expect her BP to rise then as well when she's been missing that period of time.
If she misses that ovulation period, yeah, the BP is gone for a toss.
I think we're going way too into this. Should we?
At couple of points, Akshay does.
Should we rename this psychologist deep dive into Indian matchmaking?
But bro, at couple of points, if you notice, Akshay tries making sense, but then he's shut down by his mother. Okay, at a point where the cousin sister gets involved, and she's like, "Are you ready?" And he's like, I'm not ready, but I have to because my mother is saying. I mean, the points you can tell where he's reluctant to get married, and he kind of knows that he's not ready for it, and he doesn't want to do it. He's very reluctant. Then his mother's laughing. Do you remember that scene where the mom is laughing and she goes, "मैंने तो उसे बोल दिया, अभी choose कर लो वरना मैं choose कर दूंगी." And she's laughing and saying so casually, like it's completely normal. She's
I think there needs to be a Twitter hashtag saying, okay, wait, I don't want to say this. I was going to say Akshay needs to grow a pair, but then my name is Akshay too. But let's make it Netflix Akshay needs to grow a pair. I mean, dude, it has to be trending, man. Come on. Like if Akshay is listening to me, I'll be like, dude, break some furniture in your house. I'm not saying this literally, like figuratively. Like grow a pair, like, you know, get out of your mom's shadow, man. Like, come on, you can make
But he
decisions.
doesn't want to, right? But this
He
is
doesn't want to.
I don't know if we're actually going to discuss this as a separate point, so I won't go into it.
no, go
But
ahead.
like, as much of an issue that I have with Akshay's mom, I have an equal issue with Akshay,
Yeah.
right? And there are
And Pradyuman
actually
equally. I felt like Akshay and Pradyuman were kind of similar in that.
Wait,
sense.
hold on, Viraj. Let's listen to what she's saying. You're cutting her off.
with that. So I mean, Akshay's thing, and here's my issue, right? And it surprises me that Viraj, that you haven't heard of this before, because when we discussed it, you were like, I don't know where it's coming from. But Akshay represents, I won't say the Indian male population, but there are a portion of people that have been coddled growing up, that have had their mother, you know, be there for every single need of theirs, right? Who know that their future is going to be their wife coming to their house, which is traditionally how it is, right? Everything comes and moves into yours. They are flexible for you, right?
Yeah.
And he has chosen, and even when he says, I want somebody that's like my mom, that's actually a really common sentiment, right? Why wouldn't you want somebody that's going to take care of you, that's going to do your laundry for you, cook for you while you go to work?
Because it's
But
creepy as fuck.
Hey dude, I'm totally with you. I'm the female that are looking to end up here, right? But like the bottom line is that like it's so common, right? And the question is, why is there this unhealthy obsession with wanting to stay as you were when you were being raised by your mother, right? Because that is there. And
Sigmund Freud had a theory on this. Have you guys heard of the Oedipus complex?
No.
Yeah, I have briefly.
I haven't.
I'm
What is
illiterate,
that?
sir. Please, literate me, sir. Please.
Okay, so it says that the Oedipus complex, also known as the Oedipus complex, is a term used by Sigmund Freud in his theory of psychosexual stages of development to describe a child's feeling of desire for his or her opposite sex parent and jealousy and anger towards his or her same sex parents. So what Sigmund Freud was basically saying that so what he was basically saying that if you're a guy, like you have some kind of feelings towards your mom and a resentment to your dad because, you know, he gets to be with your mom, and it's the same thing for women. You just switch the roles. So this is a theory that's well out there. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we don't know how
It's
true it is. We're
legitimate
not
as well.
psychologists, but dude, Sigmund
I
Freud
mean,
came
it's
up
very
with this.
visible
Not a
on the
moron.
show.
I mean,
Yeah,
does
I
this,
mean, yeah,
does
exactly. It could be.
Does this naturally lead into the Akshay's asexual point?
I mean,
Netflix. Let's keep using that
do you
word.
think?
No,
No, genuinely. So this
but
is
you are
something I read on
Sharma, no,
Twitter,
on the
and there are
show.
two things
You're
we'll get
Sharma.
into it.
No, the only problem is if anyone from my family comes and watches this just right in the middle, they'll be like, damn, what the hell is going on?
Okay, we'll say Netflix
So, but
Akshay. We'll stick
yeah,
to that.
I mean, it's quite a popular theory on that, but I don't agree with it personally. I don't think he's asexual. I feel like he is, like Nikita said, someone who's just looking for someone to take care of him. He doesn't look at his wife in a physical attraction kind of way. Though he's also quite superficial because the first hot girl he sees, or kind of hot
Couldn't
girl,
take my eyes off her.
yeah, I couldn't take my.
Yeah, her.
And it's like,
couldn't
bro,
be her.
you're saying that out of one picture you've seen, and then you've gone.
Just
Also-
just to add to that quickly, my biggest, was it him or Pradyuman that was like,
No, they're
I'm not
one and
finding
the
a
same.
connection with her?
Genuinely, they're one and the same person.
He's like, I can't find a connection with her, but he's never even met them before. He's just seen the bio data and he's like, oh, but there's no connection. I was just like,
I think Akshay.
how do you get connection over the paper? Like, I just, like, it just blew my mind.
Bro, but you mentioned
Yeah.
Pradyuman.
There
So, sorry, Kritika, you wanted to say that?
No. There's just another point that I saw today, you know, in one of these like memes and stuff about how when Akshay and Pradyuman had rejected some 150, 70, how many ever girls, there was some like, you know, low-key flex about it. And Ankita or Aparna have, it's her mind is unstable. You know, again, it just comes back to whole like how there are different standards throughout the show being held for men and women, like throughout, like in the smallest things. Pradyuman and Akshay are just unsure, but Ankita and Aparna have unstable minds. So
Shit, I did not see that, but I'm glad you pointed this out because like that's incredible. Because why didn't they show like a girl who's probably rejected 50 or 60 guys? That happens too.
Mothers are overbearing, and that is how Indian parents usually are, right? They're overbearing on their kids. They don't
towards their
grow up.
sons, towards
Yeah.
their sons especially more so than their
Yeah,
daughters.
they want to
But
make their decisions for them, and that's quite visible in Aksha's mom, which we'll get into detail later. But for every parent like that, there are parents like ours, right, who are not overbearing, or like they, while they want the best for you, they also want you to make your own decisions because that helps you grow up. And I feel like that's something this show did not depict. Like, if you're depicting one side of the story, at least show the other side of the coin, which was one of the only negatives. I feel like only negatives from a production standpoint that they could have done was show maybe a family that is quite supportive of their kids. I know they did it with Ankita, I think that was her name, where her mother was like, you know, you do you. If you don't want to get married, don't do it, whatever.
actually same with Nadia as well, right? Like I love the equation that she had with her mother. Like, you know, she's getting ready
Yeah.
for her dates with her mom and
But at the
stuff.
end of
And
the
then,
day,
you know,
Nadia
just
still
feel like, you know,
reduced Nadia still reduced her life to getting married, right? Eventually, when she cries and says, I'm gonna fucking die alone. And that's just like, I have not achieved anything. All my friends are married. She says that. She says that I have not achieved anything because I'm not married. And you're like, okay, why would you say you've not achieved anything just because you're not married? She,
because
I mean,
Viraj,
it could be
you
an
know that's
emotional
what
moment of hers, right? It doesn't necessarily like stand 100% for her life. Like you're highlighting a moment where she felt overly emotional. It's a drama show.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't
And
know, man. I
also,
just feel like putting marriage on a pedestal like that is just, to me, is
but
weird.
there is an existing sentiment, right? That there are still a lot of
See, I
people
don't
who
relate
are
with that sentiment. So
raised.
I'm just coming from my own standpoint, where for me, marriage is just, it's there or it's not there. It's not a big deal. I've not reached that point where for me marriage is something that I look forward to or I'm ever aiming for. So maybe if I get to that point, I would also consider it like, I don't know, a big part of my life. But at this point, I find it
I
very
mean,
trivial.
Exactly.
I
You're
want to
talking,
say
you
one
said the
thing.
words this point of your life, right? Nadia's obviously like 5, 6 years elder than
and
you.
She's
and
30
also
something.
another thing, like, you know, like women, like
Exactly.
a man's success is not defined by his marriage. A woman's success is. This is what years of conditioning and patriarchy has
But
done to
that's the
women, right?
problem,
Like,
right? And that's what I feel like
no,
we should address.
but you can address it, but it's not something you're going to unlearn overnight, right? Like a
Yeah.
woman, like, you know, women define their success. Women don't, maybe other women, actually even women do to a certain extent, by the man who is like, you know, picking them, choosing them, that kind of thing, unconditionally loves you.
Hmm.
But a man, he's not like brought up to, like, you know, aspire to find this one woman who like unconditionally loves him.
Yeah.
He's taught to thrive at his career.
I'd say
Even
actually to
women
be
are, but
sorry, just to cut you off quickly, going back to our previous point about positives of the show, I feel like this is actually another positive from the shows that is starting dialogue to a point where we are
100%.
sat here and talking about this stuff. And I just feel like if it wasn't probably for the show, this conversation wouldn't have happened.
No,
So,
but I think Kritika said something that was very accurate. Like, if you look at a 35-year-old man, sure, you might say that, okay, yeah, he's not married, and fine, you'll think about it for a second and you
yeah.
won't really bat another eyelid. But then if you look at a 35-year-old woman who's not married, then she's the topic of conversation in most Indian societies. So, yeah, it's something that
definitely.
does happen.
And like,
Because
Yeah,
the
and
but
even
that is
she is
question
going
is,
to,
what's wrong with her, right?
what's
She's
wrong with
not
her?
Exactly.
married to
Exactly.
the
Yeah, why didn't
core.
someone choose her?
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
And
that's also
it's
quite
pretty
prevalent in
sad
the show
actually
from the way
because
Seema from Mumbai talks, right? Remember the scene where she goes up to Aparna's mom and they're having a discussion, and she's like, "What type of guy you want for your daughter?" And eventually, it all boils down to, "So why isn't your daughter married yet? Like, what's the problem?" And that is the first thing she asks. And I actually quite like the mom's answer where she was like, "There's nothing wrong with her. She's just busy." And it's like,
Mhm.
I quite like that answer. I know a lot of people do not
I
like
mean,
Aparna or her mom, which there is valid reasons for. But I feel like I kind of liked Aparna's stance on marriage, where she was not willing to compromise, and she. I
Yeah.
know that Nikita thinks
yeah.
differently about marriage, so because we have had this discussion about life earlier. But piece of a fucking
True.
portfolio where you've not met the person, but on the basis of the achievements, you decide whether this is the person you want to be with or you don't want to be with. And I kind of find that a bit weird, to be honest. For example, like in the very first scene, Akshay's mom goes, I want a daughter
Let's
who's
fix Aksha's
5'3"
mom.
or 5'3" or more, and who she should be a little flexible. Why the fuck is she saying flexible?
There are so many memes around that flexible comment of hers also now.
The mother
But
is the
correct
ultimate
me if
villain of that show.
correct me if I'm wrong, but like, even like online dating, for example, if you take like people are looking based off pictures, based off qualifications, based
I
off
don't
height,
do it.
whether I'm going to swipe right or swipe left.
I
You're
don't
not
do
talking.
it.
It is
I don't.
majority
Do
of
I?
today's like generation. That is besides the point. I feel like, arranged marriage, I understand it gets a lot of, hate on this. I would never look at someone's skin color, their height. I mean, not height, to be fair, I have a bias, I have to say that. Skin color, their, income, their weight, and these kind of things. And men and women alike have body, body confidence
You
issues and stuff
speak
because
about
of it.
income, right? The part that pissed
Yeah.
me off about Aparna's mother was the part where she suddenly calls Srini a loser because he's an author and
Yeah.
not some banker or something. And because
Yeah.
she's already decided that if he earns less than my daughter, he's a loser. And I'm like, dude, really? I mean,
Yeah.
Just in her defense, though, I don't think that's why she called him a loser. I think she called him a loser because he didn't have ambitions that were aligned with Aparna's.
yeah,
So
but
I
is that
agree.
wrong? How do you define someone as a loser?
No,
Because
that I 100% agree with. But just in terms of, like, I think her loser comment was unwarranted. But I
Yeah.
think that she took it from a standpoint, which, to be fair, is something that a lot of parents would have the same sentiment for, which is that,
But that's
I
wrong.
want.
You cannot decide someone's
No, it's wrong.
success or a failure or a loser or a winner by how they
Dude,
perceive
yeah.
life. Who has made these rules that you have to do life in this particular way?
I totally agree with you, but for her to want somebody, so I think it's one thing for her to want somebody who has ambition in her daughter's partner, and it's another thing for her to write it off being like, that's a little alarming, don't you think? Or like call him a loser subsequently, right? I think that to have somebody who wants ambition, though, is something that's quite common, that a lot of women would agree with that sentiment, right? But the
But
difference
then
is
if
that
ambition
doesn't
is
make
so
you.
important, why is a girl wanting to go out with an Akshay or a Pradyuman? Because they are losers. Like they are generally losers. Let's be
I
honest.
mean, the girls who want to go out with Akshay and Pradyuman want to go into a family that has a lot of money with this whole business setup, and they just want to have a chill life, and that's honestly good for them. If that's what does it for them, then fine.
Yeah.
But for some girls like Aparna, for example, or Ankita, ambition was high up there, right? So
Yeah.
they're not going to be happy in like a Pradyuman or Akshay kind of setting.
Dude, the part that gets to me and how I feel parenting is very important is that one very important scene where Akshay is on this date with his entire family, gone to meet that girl's family. They're sitting on the table, and that girl is like, "Yeah, I want to have my own career," whatever she says. And the guy goes, "But Akshay goes, but if you work, to ghar kaun sambhalega?" Like in his
Who will
head,
take
it's
care
so
of the kids?
mind-boggling that a woman wants to just work and not actually do, because that's what he grew up with, like being told that a woman is going to take care of your family.
I have a
I'm not,
question for you. I
Mhm.
noticed you said something. You said your criteria is height, and it's always puzzled me whenever women have said this. Like, what is women's obsession with tall guys?
So for starters, I am a tall Indian girl. Like I am 5'7.5" ish. It makes me happy to add that half. So I'm going to add it. And I actually don't know where it comes from. Apparently, there is some genetic reasoning behind why women like taller guys. I haven't gone into the detail of that, but I don't know. I feel like if there is a group of guys, I'm going to be more drawn towards the tallest of the lot.
in the past, that hasn't worked out very well for you, if I may just add.
Nikita, what are your thoughts on this, on the height bias? Is it true?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's definitely a thing. Like, I mean, it's not like I'm spoiling the secrets of the women by saying it, but like, I mean, when women when they have their criteria, it definitely is a thing. Like, oh, I would like him to be taller. To be 100% honest, I don't really know where it stems from. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes from the same idea of masculinity, that like, your man has to be like stronger and bigger. I don't know if that's just like something that's trickled down from there, but it's more common than not for a woman to say, I want him to be tall. I think in cases like Nadia? Was she the one that said she was 5'9"? I think in cases like Nadia, I think a 5'2" would probably be the same issue as a 6-foot guy and a 5'2" girl. But even for average height women, I can definitely see them being like, I still want to be taller.
But again,
maybe if you have any psych majors, they can let us know the real reason in the descriptions below. Okay, you don't have to be a psych major, even if you have a theory.
but again, like 6-foot guy and 5'2" girl is more like acceptable in society, right? And I'll be like, oh, this is like Amitabh and Jaya Bachchan, how cute, that kind of. I've heard that. I've actually heard this Amitabh Jaya
because of the stool and the stepping on the stool.
Because of the stool and the whole Kabhi Khushi Kabhi
This
Gum.
just tells you how
throwback.
Bollywood is ruining our society and how Bollywood dictates everything in Indian society.
I mean, again, this comes back
You
to the
could
whole
argue two
conditioning
ways.
thing, right?
Either Bollywood is creating culture and we're living it, or it's just a reflection of how we actually live.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
you
agree.
don't know.
Yeah.
Did us with some amazing first dates. Srini the loser taking her to throw axes is one first date.
My
Second-
fave.
Yeah. Second is goat yoga.
Nikita would enjoy that first
Wait,
date, by the way. I
There
don't know
is
why you
more.
think that's
There
funny.
is the goat yoga bit. There is the goat yoga bit. Third is when this guy, what's his name? Pradyuman takes Rushali, I think, horse
the
riding.
stable.
Was that Rushali? I
Stable,
don't
stable.
remember.
I don't remember name.
He takes her to the stable and he sits her down and he says, so you like animals, mammals or sea animals? It's
Sorry, I
what?
think the cat
He's like,
one
do
is
you like
better.
mammals or sea animals? And then
No,
she's like, I like animals.
Yeah.
the other
You like
thing that he
cats?
said.
And
No,
then
I like
other thing-
horses.
wait, another thing he said was,
No, let me say that. Apart from being glamorous, what do you like?
What do you
Apart
do?
from being glamorous.
see, this
What
is
do you do
see,
apart from being
My
glamorous?
thought is that if he wasn't loaded, that girl would have just stood up and walked out. She would have been like, fuck this, I'm done.
No, I don't know. I think she was having fun.
Dude, no, man, are you mad? You could see her face. She was just like animals.
I mean, you don't know. Like, both of them were being recorded. So obviously, he probably had some extra confidence
Oh,
because he
another
was
part which I
supposed
found
to be the macho
funny.
I
guy.
found Pradyuman's sister also very annoying, to be honest.
Dude,
I don't
Dude, she
like
made one crazy statement. Hold on. Did you guys hear this? Like, at one point when these guys were having a conversation again at socials, which for some reason, these guys are always in all the movies. I think they pay these guys because he was in Ranbir Kapoor's movie as well. Anyways, we're going somewhere else now. But yeah, she made a statement saying that, Pradyuman, I'm still coming out to my husband even after 12 years. And I'm like, dude,
Oh,
that is
yeah.
messed up. Like, that's fucked up. Like, there's no other word for it. If you're still revealing yourself after 12 years, like, dude, half your life is over.
Dude, another
Yeah, I
thing
don't
about
know what she's
Pradyuman
up
which I
to.
found fucked up was he called Amuse Bush, and I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up, you don't know anything about food. I'm so pissed. As a food lover myself, I was just like, bro, please stop. And his mom was orgasming over dry ice. I have never seen someone get so happy about smoke coming out of her mouth. She was
I
just
get
like,
super excited about that. I'm not gonna lie.
I get super excited too.
her
Yeah, I
face was
can't
just
lie.
like, bro, what are you doing? Like, are you okay?
Dude,
Okay,
even
guys,
even
can
that
we
part,
do a vote?
even
Can we do a vote? How many of y'all think that Pradyuman is gay? Which is fine, but like, how many of y'all think he's gay? I think he's bi at least.
I mean, Akshay, that's good you added the which is fine. I feel like it would be problematic if you didn't.
Yeah, because some moron over there will take it in the wrong way. So, you have to add a disclaimer to everything. By now, dude, I'm telling you, Viraj, some people would have that paragraph ready. We're doing a vote.
Oh, yeah.
I say he's bi, at least. He's at least bi.
I can agree with bi. I don't agree with gay. I can agree with bi because I know that
I don't
Akshay and I have
think so.
discussed this and he said some statements which I kind of thought about and I think he'll change your mind.
What were the statements?
Akshay, go on.
So, I mean, in one place, he made a reference saying that I'm looking for a partner and he didn't specify wife, though obviously that could be like, me just zooming into on details and making a mountain out of nothing. But yeah, it was just interesting how he said that. And then after that, he made some weird statement saying that, I'm scared my new partner will have to leave his existing life. And at that same time, they were having lunch on a table with his friends who were already couples. So I didn't know if that was like some slight kind of,
And it
hint
didn't
that he's has a relationship going on with the other guy whose wife also revealed that he keeps bugging her husband to go for road trips.
Boys
Boys trip.
Boys trip. I have to say, auntie, आपका पति gay है. I think he's gay. Like, dude, I don't know. Dude, who's begging people to go on boys trips every 2 days? Like, Viraj, does that happen? Like, maybe we're not hanging out with the right crew, but like, no one is so eager for a boys trip. I think, auntie, you should put a camera in that tent to see what's going on. Though it's fine, man. It's their lives. Like, it's fine.
Is this gonna make it onto the?
We don't know that yet, but I'm just saying, guys, you do you. It's absolutely fine. This is 2020. Viraj, show your pride. Watch.
Always, dude, always. I'm always for people coming out. I mean, before we wrap up, is one more Pradyuman thing that I want to talk about, which I'm pretty sure Netflix did it ironically, and it was really fucking funny, but also
Interesting.
sad at the same time. Is when Pradyuman is on that date with that girl from Jalgaon, and he's like, "Oh, I like traveling," and she goes, "Yeah, even I like traveling," and he's like, "Oh, really? Where did you last travel to?" And she goes, "Hyderabad," and then the camera zooms into his face. And he's just staring at her like this, straight face. You can see he's judging her. And then he just goes, "Yeah, that's far. Really far." And I'm like, bro, that is a dick move. Like, you don't have to do that.
That's not the worst thing he did though. She said, "Okay, I'll see you in Jalgaon on 27th," and he was like, "Yeah, not happening."
No.
Like, no,
Yeah, I think
no,
that
that's
was
not
the
happening.
worst thing. Watching this show, one thing that I noticed, like from like an anthropological perspective, if you look at it, like if you look at, where all these contestants were, like in terms of like their social dominance, like you guys, like what's the guy who's really rich and stuff, like both Akshay
Pradyuman.
and Pradyuman, right? Like, so these guys were shown as, the ballers with a lot of cash and stuff. Like one thing I noticed is how the show portrays society, that, men are willing to, look at people below their range, but when it comes to women, they'll only match with people equal to or above. That's what I noticed, because you never saw it was mostly the rich guy looking for a pretty girl, and the girl who has a thing that, yeah, he at least need to make enough money as me or better. Like that's what I noticed. It was not a situation where any woman was making a compromise, like, yeah, it's fine, he doesn't earn as much as me, like that's fine with me. Like, is that something you guys noticed?
I mean, but that's the reverse. That's what men are expected to do, right? Like men are expected to earn the money, and women are expected to be pretty or to fit into that kind of thing. So
But that's a problem, right? It should not be
it is.
that way.
I am not saying, but like
Yeah.
the kind of shit that a girl goes through in arranged marriage is this kind of like, you're not pretty, you're not good enough, you're not this and that. The kind of shit that a guy he is assessed on his like career success. Either he's born with money, he's inherited money, or he's gone out and made the money as a banker, a consultant, whatever. So
I can tell you the
that is-
reason behind that though. The reason why women look for, well, I'm not saying that is the reasoning, but I think that there's a conversation around that, because when you go back to this entire idea of this, your father gives you away to another family, you move from your family to somebody else's lineage and stuff like that. Alongside comes this thing of maintaining the kind of lifestyle that you have currently. And if we then, couple it with this idea of the man is a breadwinner and the woman is, the homemaker, then what comes after that is the fact that, she needs to be able to have the same kind of lifestyle that her dad provided for her. And I think that comes from a lot of like a familial requirement. And then that's kind of something that's just like, transferred on to women per se. But for example, like the height thing, I would say is quite a girl thing to want. And then like, of course, your family would agree with it. But I think the career thing is definitely a more family pushed, filtered down thing.
Yeah, and it's very valid also. I mean, I wasn't making a judgment. It's just an observation.
Yeah.
But Nikita, just like, just asking, I mean, for me and I think even for Nikita, I know, like, I would want to be with a guy who earns as much as me or more. I don't know what guys think on that. Like, do you both have that requirement that she earns as much as you or more, or would you be okay? I mean, I'm not saying that if he's earning a little bit less than me, that's a deal breaker.
So I would not know.
But no, what do you think?
In a general scenario, like generally.
I don't think it would affect me anyway. Like I wouldn't care. I mean, but I know I'm not how a general person would think.
Can you see a male, I guess for the both, we're asking the questions now.
Okay, go.
Can you see as a male how other men might feel threatened by a
Yes.
woman earning more than them
Fuck
in a
yeah, dude.
relationship?
That's so blatantly. It's the insecurity in men is genuinely so prevalent in society, not just in India. I think all over the world, and I feel like it's highlighted more in our case. I don't know why. I think it's because we grew up reading a lot more about our own country than the world. But it's generally a societal world issue where men are threatened if women are more dominant. Like the way Aparna, right? Okay, so this is my problem with this entire show. Is the way Aparna is portrayed is like a villain, but she is everything that entails women. Okay, she's rude. That's the only wrong thing about her, is that she's fucking rude and she hates on everyone, right? But from a standpoint of everything a woman wants to be or should aspire to be in like her own case, she's a successful lawyer. She is headstrong in what she wants. She's the one who's saying you're not good enough. She's the one being fucking honest in the sense that she's deciding what she wants. So what is so wrong with that? But the portrayal of that on Netflix is wrong. I just feel like they've not portrayed her like that, even though those are the characteristics that define her.
Are we going to
Okay, I
discuss
don't
her
know where
later?
Viraj is going into, but I'm going to go back to
I'm not
Nikita's
going into
question.
that, but I just feel like that is the problem, is that a lot of men dislike people like what's her name?
Yeah,
Aparna.
because the male
I mean,
ego is pretty
Yeah, the
fragile.
ego is
ego.
hurt. It's
Yeah.
fragile, yeah. Which is why a lot
Men
of people
dislike
Aparna.
men dislike women of power. Like, I mean, fundamentally, men dislike
Yeah.
women with power. So yeah, it's
I
annoying how they didn't tell you anything about where the couples ended up and stuff.
so I mean,
Exactly.
being the ardent researchers, Akshay and I, we have both researched, and none of
You
the
dedicated
people,
our lives to bringing you the truth.
yeah, as responsible journalists online today, we would like to disclose it right here exclusively on this podcast that none of the
Desi Chai
people
podcast only second to the Boston Globe.
we would like to reveal here on this very podcast that all the 8 people Seema from Mumbai set up, for none of them has it worked out. Even the guy who had his Roka, Akshay, they split up the very next day, and Akshay put out a statement on his Instagram saying the reason it did not work out was because apparently the girl hid something. Now I don't know how much of that is true, or maybe the girl just found out what a big loser Akshay is, but that is the truth.
Saw the previous episodes.
He's all the way.
Can I just say though that that's not surprising at all. The way that they've actually like filmed that entire season, it looks like an advert for Seema from Mumbai, right?
It
Because like when they do their kind of like, you know, when
But the
they're out
problem
with
is
it,
it's
they're
really
all like,
bad
she
for-
did what I needed, Seema gave me what I asked for, now it's my turn to see if it works, blah, blah, blah. And secondly, like, for example, Nadia just disappeared. Like she doesn't come back and she was like mid-season and then she just drops off
Yeah.
the show.
I actually have a conspiracy theory about this, but I thought I'd look too loony if I said this on air. But let me just say it since you brought it up. I was just wondering how it's so interesting that this entire this drama show, it dropped right now in the middle of a crisis for the marriage industry in India. So I was wondering if, the marriage industry have some massive lobby where these guys have begged Netflix to put it out right now so that people start, spending money again. I don't know. There's just a
So,
conspiracy.
fun fact,
Probably not.
actually, Akshay, now that you brought it up, I know, like we said, we are ardent researchers. While doing our research,
course.
we found out that the stock of matchmaking.com, what was the website, Akshay?
Yeah, matrimony.com.
Matrimony.com, their
Yeah.
shares have risen by 20% in the last 3 days. Or
Yeah.
just since the release of the show. 20% increase in their fucking share prices.
We'll probably put a
Yeah.
picture of it right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right?
But it's crazy. Good time to invest. Pump and dump, guys. We heard it here first. Most disturbing thing, okay, this is a joke, but seriously, the most disturbing thing I saw in the entire episode is the way Seema Aunty is going through a database. She's written it by hand, and damn, as a data analyst myself, it makes me want to vomit. So Aunty, if you're listening, I have Tableau, I have Alteryx. We put all that data in, we can visualize the shit out of it. I'll tell you the best trends, and we can do an analysis, even trend prediction. So if you're listening
Wow.
to me, just reach out. I just give me like $1 lakh or 2 a month. That's fine.
That's it from this episode. Very special episode of the Desi Trip podcast, where we discuss the beautiful art that is Indian matchmaking. And with hopefully we've covered everything. Whatever we've left out, please let us know in the comments. Also, tell us who your favorite character was and why, and who your most hated character was and why. And this is me, Viraj from London, Akshay from Toronto, Kritika from Mumbai, Nikita from London, all signing off. See you guys, and see you on Saturday where we drop the Manoj Tiwari episode. So please check that out also.